Hey guys, PlainNSimpleMan here, and today I want to talk about the worst possible thing in the world. Something so horrible that even saying this might cause you and your family, and even your family tree, a lot of harm. Now, what I'm talking about is corrupting our youth, our society, our planet, and even Earth, which of course is our planet. I'm talking about video games. That's right. That's right. Now this rant of mine is inspired by Review Tech USA, and he did a rant on the APA Task Force's stance on violent video games. And he's got a great channel, but I really like this video that he did, so go ahead and check it out down below. Now, who is the APA Task Force anyway? Well, they are the American Psychological Association, and they believe that when it comes to video games, or violent video games that is, there appears to be evidence that exposure to violent media increases feelings of hostility, thoughts about aggression, suspicions about the motives of others, and demonstrates violence as a method to deal with potentially dangerous situations. Okay, first of all, guys, let's tackle the subject from my point of view and my own experiences, okay, guys? Now, I've been gaming for over 30 years, and I've been married for almost 20, and I've got 2 kids. I don't have a perfect life, guys, not even close, but I never committed a crime, and some of the games I've played are probably considered violent by the APA standards. Now, I played games like Resident Evil, Saints Row, GTA 5, LA Noire, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and a lot of other games as well that could fit into the category of violent video games. Now, listen, I never once had thoughts of suicide, and I never wanted to hurt anybody, and I never even displayed aggression towards another human being as to cause them harm. I'm respectful to others, I've got a job and a life that's fairly normal, and do you guys want to know why I have not done those evil, nasty things that the APA wants you to believe are things caused by violent video games? Oh boy, lost my breath there. It's because of how I was raised, the values my mom and dad taught me, and the things that I've learned from my teachers growing up and the people that I've been associated with throughout my entire life. So my question to the APA, or anybody out there for that matter, who thinks so-called violent video games are the key factor in violence among individuals who play them, is simply this. Did any of you individuals or experts out there even play video games? Did any of you ever play a video game that in any way, shape, or form could possibly be considered violent, which is exactly the subject of your entire existence when it comes to your stance and the relationship between so-called violent video games and those individuals that play those games? Answer that question. And did you ever think that maybe the person or people that have become violent and so happen to play these video games were already mentally unstable to begin with, but the mere fact that they played these so-called violent video games now became the blaming factor in their case because there was nothing left to blame their violent activity on? Or was blaming video games simply the easy thing to do for you guys? So what exactly is a violent video game? And that's a pretty good question. I mean, is it a game where a character shoots another character and mimics the death of another character? Okay, so do you guys think Pac-Man was a violent video game? Well, my guess is probably no. But Pac-Man runs around eating pellets. Now, these pellets, for all we know, could be cyanide pellets, and they may cause somebody to think it's okay to pop cyanide, right? I know, it's a silly example, guys, but so is the APA's claim on violent video games, in my opinion. And what about family life? What about the family life of the individuals that allegedly commit murders or behave in a violent way that happen to play these so-called violent video games? Did we look into their home life? Do they have a stable family life at home? Is there or was their father an abusive person? I mean, are these kids being teased at school? Are they told that they're going to amount to nothing in life? Do they have an abusive family? Do they have an abusive social life? Are they bullied? Are they hanging around with the wrong crowd? Those are the questions that we should be answering, because all of these are legitimate contributing factors of the beginning stages of violent behavior among any kid going through these types of situations. Not video game playing or listening to rap music or listening to heavy metal music, because those things are used as scapegoats and are easy things to blame, when in fact proper parenting, proper direction, and the teaching of real-life values like self-respect, discipline, leadership, and instilling confidence in all these kids can keep keep anybody away from committing violent acts, even if they play the most violent game in the world, because if these important life lessons are instilled in anybody, they will know better on what right is and what wrong is, what reality is and what make-believe is. Look at the thousands of kids or adults, for that matter, who do play these so-called violent video games and don't commit crimes. Does the APA have the statistics on that? Does the APA say, hey, we got 100 kids here that play violent video games and 99 of those kids didn't even commit a crime or show abusive behavior? Of course not. They don't look at that, because that would mean 99% of 100 kids surveyed that played violent video games didn't commit crimes at all. Now, how about looking into the home life of the kids that play violent video games and don't commit crimes? I bet you'll see that either they had a decent home life or they knew right from wrong, based on the values they learned in their life from their parents, teachers, and other authoritative figures in their life. Honestly, these people, no matter what organization they're from, they're going to start blaming violent video games for violence in the world. But maybe they should look into something else. Look into other influences in the world that are far more dangerous, because blaming video games for violent behavior is like blaming the knife manufacturer for somebody being stabbed. It's not the knife, guys. It's the individual who used the knife in the crime. Just like it's not the video games, but rather the person who happens to play the video games is probably already 2 fries short of a Happy Meal or 2 beers short of a six-pack. Catch my drift, guys? Comprende? Hear where I'm coming from? Anyway, guys, you guys tell me what you guys think in the comments section down below, because I believe I have a really good argument here. I've been playing video games for a long time. I haven't done anything wrong. Now remember, guys, as always, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. You better subscribe to my channel. I'm PlainNSimpleMan, and I'm out of here, and you guys have a good one.